Welcome everyone back to weekly weather updates, and in this evening's video we're going to have a look at the latest from the GFS, the GM, the ECMWF, the GFS Ensembles, the ECMWF Ensembles and the UK Met Office Run. It's likely that we're going to be going quite cold next week, with the potential for some significant snow around for some. The models have really been playing up today, with the potential for quite a few snow showers and the potential for a sliding low pressure system, a bit of a channel low potentially for Tuesday, Wednesday next week, which some of the models have been hinting at producing some significant snowfall even into central England. So I'll have a look at that in detail in this video. Just remember, if you enjoy my videos, make sure you like and subscribe, and remember to follow on Twitter as well, the link's in the description. Also check out the channel membership and buy me a coffee as well, link in the description, and also check out my video from earlier where I had a look at 2021, sort of going through it in sort of a review, having a look at the GFS analysis and giving you a rating at the end. So do check that out if you are interested. So you can see in the latest GFS we are still in this balmy southwesterly wind, and we've seen temperature records today. Mildest New Year's Day with 16 degrees, very, very mild today. However, that's all going to be changing over the next few days. A lot of people have been saying it's spring-like out there. That is going to be changing quite significantly over the next week, because even next week, some days are not going to be bitterly cold or chilly, but they're still going to be 6-7 degree max, maybe in the far south or southwest with a bit of a milder sector. So quite dramatically cooler, even sort of smaller, milder days next week. So we do have a look at the GFS. You can see this low pressure system that is running into the UK. And as that does pull away, we see a northerly wind move in. And the thing we've got to watch is this small low pressure system running up from the south. It's bumping into that colder air, and on the GFS midnight run and its 6Z today, we're showing significant snowfall across parts of central southern England. Could be 10-20 centimetres on those scenarios. However, on the 12Z, it's corrected a bit further southwards, meaning just rain as that colder air hasn't quite bumped into it, producing the heavy snowfall in the near continents. So it's really something to watch. The GM goes really significant as well with the snow, and pushes actually even further northwards, whereas the UK Met Office Run has it all rain and very little snow on it initially. So yeah, very, very interesting, and something you've got to keep an eye on next week. Could be a very marginal snow event there, and again, we have to keep an eye on it. But it does go very chilly, and regardless of what happens with that channel low pressure system, there's going to be a lot of snow showers around, especially in the north, and we could be seeing quite a few showers feed into the northwest. As you can see, the ice bars are tilted into the northwest, and we could be seeing quite a few showers there. And the UK Met Office Run, which we see at the end of the video, is hinting at quite a few of these wintry showers coming quite far inland. So yeah, quite a few areas could be seeing some wintriness. Nothing significant initially, other than the potential for that channel low, but those showers could produce some wintriness. Beyond that, we do see this high pressure trying to hang on within the colder air. You can see that colder air that's sunk southwards, and that high pressure trying to hold on to it. And as this weather front bumps into it, we could once again see some significant snow. Highest chances are in the north and the northeast, over higher ground especially. But some of the models are showing it even to low-lying areas initially. But with quite a large mild sector, it's going to be turning back to rain, with temperatures getting above a few degrees above freezing at least for a time, maybe next Thursday. And then we go into a cold northwesterly polar maritime air mass. Now, other models have something a bit different cropping up here, as we'll see. Some of the models are even showing a bit of blocking appearing. That Scandinavian high we were talking about yesterday, retrogressing a little bit towards Greenland, and potentially making this low pressure system drop southwards. And yeah, we'll have a look at that. Very, very weird model output coming out today. And it just all shows you how quickly these things can change. And you can see we stay in a pretty chilly air mass, see a mild sector come through, but once again we're put back into a cooler air mass, and we just sort of see a bit of a flip-flopping between cooler and milder air masses, but still temperatures coming out around or maybe slightly below average. Right into the longer term, in the uncertain time frame, of course, we're seeing high pressure building over the top of the UK and potentially try and reaching up towards Greenland. And right towards the end of the run, we're actually plunged into a pretty chilly northerly wind and in quite a cold air mass and colder air following in behind it. And that would be a very cold northwesterly polar maritime air mass. Could be snow around with that for many, as we have quite a lot of cold air available to our north. So something to keep an eye on there, of course. Now, if we do have a look at the GFS precipitation charts, we'll only go through over the next maybe 5 to 7 days. There's no point looking beyond that. It's so uncertain. You can see rain around tomorrow. Again, we'll have a look at the UKMO Operational Run, which will forecast is a bit better, especially in the short term. Then we see that cold front push down from the south, with the cold air moving through Monday afternoon. And we see that weather front push into the south, staying mostly as rain and staying mostly in the Channel into France. Bit of snow maybe on its northern edge. However, in its midnight run and midday run, 6Z run, was showing more significant snow for turning to heavy snow across the near continent. See a lot of snow showers pushing in over the course of Tuesday and even into Wednesday before dying out throughout Wednesday evening. And then we see that weather front push in. Significant snow potentially over parts of higher ground and even to low-lying areas for a time before milder air does push through. And as I said, this could be very, very snowy, this pattern, across northern Scotland, even parts of Ireland, northern England as well, with that cold air undercutting these weather fronts. We're seeing significant snowfall potentially across those areas, again mainly over higher ground, but could be going to lower lying areas when we get that colder polar maritime air masses pushing through. And beyond that into next weekend, heavy rain pushing back in from the west with snow over higher ground. Again, that's where the models are diverging at this stage, so of course no guarantees with anything happening beyond about 5 or 7 days with the uncertainty we have. Now, if we have a look at the GM, which has by far been the most interesting model over the last couple of days, it's showing very different things that would turn it a lot colder if we did see them come off. Now you can see, we see that low pressure pull away, northerly wind bumps in, real vigorous low pressure system, a bit further northwards, producing significant snowfall across parts of Midlands, maybe even central southern England, and very cold air mass pushing through. If we go back to the pressure charts and have a look, you can see high pressure trying to reach in quite a significant area of high pressure there, actually. And it gets pushed away by this low, but this low dives southwards and high pressure over Iceland. This would start to pull in a bit of a northeasterly wind, pretty chilly northeasterly wind by day 7. You can see colder air mass, snow showers potentially coming in, and that would give us quite frigid temperatures. And as we head towards day 10, we see milder air and that Atlantic system trying to push in, but the high pressure is trying to hold it out. And right towards day 10, we have high pressure over the top of the UK trying to hold off these weather fronts and low pressure systems and trying to build high pressure towards Scandinavia. So the GM really is going for this blocking to our north and our northeast sort of pattern, showing this quite relentlessly. So very interesting. So this is why I said don't look at the GFS too literally at day 7, where it's showing in much milder westerly winds pushing back in, because as you see by this GM run, it is showing much colder weather prevailing over the next 7 to 10 days, and potentially going significantly colder if we see Scandinavian high coming off. Now, if we do have a look at its precipitation charts, you can see at the moment nothing too significant, just a bit of rain around, and then we see that weather front push in from the south and heavier rain pushing from colder air pushing from the north, weather front pushing from the south, and where we see those collide, significant snowfall across central England, into the Midlands, northern England, Wales, and then pulling even into parts of the east and the southeast as well as it moves away. And then seeing a lot of snow showers packing in quite widely across the north, even into parts of central England, the far southwest, southeast, parts of Wales, Northern Ireland, Ireland as well, and just generally quite a snowy outlook. And then we see weather fronts bumping into that colder air once again, and even more snowfall on the GM run. Not quite as far south as some would hope, with little snow showing up for the South Midlands into central southern England, southeast, but significant snow across the north and the northeast. And then generally staying quite chilly with the snow showers packing in from the northeast. Very cold outlook there, with things staying much drier and potentially very frosty as well. So yeah, very, very interesting contrasting views at day 7 from the 2 runs. Now, if we have a look at the ECMWF, see what that does show. Again, this is the midnight run. So not quite up to date as the GM and the GFS, the 12Z runs. So of course it could be slightly different looking at data from 12 hours ago, or observations from 12 hours ago. We see northerly wind push in, potential for a bit of snow there, of course, with that small low pressure system, that sliding low, and then generally a lot of snow showers around as well. And then we see low pressure move in. You see that little lobe of high pressure not coming off too significantly, but it is shifting the jet stream quite far southwards, and we actually do see it starting to take hold at day 8 with colder northerly airflow. And right towards day 10, doesn't come to much, but it is still showing it potentially trying to take hold over the top of the UK. So yeah, very interesting model output from the 3 main models today. And if we do have a look at the UKMO Operational Run, see what that is showing up until day 7, we'll see it actually does go quite cold as well. You can see again, northerly winds taking over early next week, chilly conditions, and then that low pressure system sliding into the south, potentially producing significant snowfall, and that lobe of high pressure trying to hold off the weather fronts, but that low pressure doesn't move in. We see that low move in, and right towards 168 hours, we're seeing high pressure build in over Iceland in the North Atlantic, and we're seeing quite cold feed of air coming in from the northeast. You can see towards the 850 HPA, it isn't bitterly cold, as we still do have a bit of a milder sector from this low, but if we saw this high pressure hold off, you see this minus 10 sort of area of cold would sink southwards. So this UK Met Office run would be poised at sending us quite a bit significantly colder towards the middle of January. And again, something we need to keep an eye on. So yeah, very, very interesting runs coming out on the 12Z today. And it just shows you how you can't count out colder runs appearing, even at short time frame, at sort of 5 to 7 days. As we're seeing with the 12Z from the GM run, this UK Met Office run, still showing the potential for some blocking, trying to hold on and send that jet stream further southwards and spill colder air into the UK. With the low pressure systems, could be snow, significant snow around, especially over higher ground. But if we did get that blocking going, it would push even colder air further southwards, and low-lying areas could not be excluded from that snow. We could be seeing winteriness to low-lying areas. Now, if we do have a look at the ECMWF Ensembles, which have been very good, have a look at the scenarios over the next few weeks. We'll go through this quite quickly, as I've spent quite a long time on this over the last few videos. Now, if we go out to day 5, out to 120 hours, you can see that low pressure system moving out to the east, and then the Atlantic trying to push back in. You can see majority of the runs have this low pressure pushing back in. Bit of blocking towards Greenland on some of them. Only one is holding that high pressure on. Maybe another 6, including the operational run, have a slither of high pressure holding it on for a little bit longer, but nothing too significant. Now, if we move up to day 7, you can see a real interesting pattern starting to appear in the ECMWF Ensembles. Higher pressure ridging into the North Atlantic towards Greenland and Iceland. No significant Greenland high at this stage, but what it would do is it would shift the jet stream quite significantly to a northwest-southeast alignment and sink air, colder air in from the north and from Scandinavia. You can see 20, including control run, northwesterly wind. Another 13 with a ridge of high pressure towards Iceland. And almost a direct northerly, that would be cold. Bit of a flimsy high, so we could be seeing lows right over the top of this. So it wouldn't be a direct northerly the whole time. But yeah, it would be quite cold. Another 11 have northwesterly winds poised going to a northerly with high pressure towards Greenland. Another 6, or 11.8%, including the operational run, more of a westerly flow. So the operational run is a bit of an outlier, with only 6 of its ensemble members going, or 5 others going with it, and 1 with a more of a flat westerly. Bit of a northwesterly alignment with that, but more milder than the other runs. If we go out to day 10, you can see control and operational run have higher pressure trying to build over the UK towards Scandinavia, trying to pull in easterly winds. Another 12, flat westerly. Another 9, higher pressure towards Scandinavia, but more of a westerly influence trying to pull in. Another 8, again, would be southwesterly with high pressure to our south, would be quite mild. And another 8, showing again another Scandinavian high pattern with cold air trying to push in from the east. So yeah, very interesting Scandinavian high pattern and general blocking pattern still holding on within the models. 300 hours, you can see 19 or 37.3% westerly winds in from the northwest, chilly, alternating between milder and colder sectors. Another 18, control run, high pressure over the top of the UK would be a flat westerly, but could be an inversion in the south where we see higher pressure control. Now the 14 still have that low tropospheric polar vortex, but bitterly cold easterly winds would start to be taking on with a big Scandinavian high. Very interesting seeing that. And right towards the end of the run, 19 northwesterly alignment, another 18, again another northwesterly alignment of the jet stream, and another 14 cold easterly winds. So you can see the blocking signal that has been there for the last few weeks is still cropping up within the models, and even though we have a strong signal for a westerly based jet stream, it is looking quite likely now this blocking could be impacting us more significantly than we anticipated a few days ago. Could turn things colder, not significantly colder at this stage, no real signs of massive freezer-like conditions, but cold enough for snow, especially over high ground, and potential to low-lying areas if we did see this scenario come off. So yeah, very interesting, the latest model output. Now if we do finally, for the longer term, have a look at the GFS Ensembles. If we do quickly refresh that, you can see mild at the moment, but dropping quite significantly. And as that real cold air comes in middle of next week, around the 5th of January, big precipitation spikes from that sliding low. And some of those are showing significant snowfall, as I'll show you in a minute. We do see a brief rise in temperatures with about 0 degrees at 850 HPA, so not massively mild by any means, but not cold. It would be turning things back to rain, temperatures maybe 5, 6, 7 degrees. And then we generally stay around or below average on the majority of the ensemble members. You can see the operational run is actually a milder outlier, pushing in west to southwesterly winds. The majority are around -2, -3, all the way down to some getting down to -10. So looking quite cold outlook. And in the longer run, we're seeing reduced precipitation, which would symbolise higher pressure. Could that be the signs of a Scandinavian high coming in? And you can see quite a few runs are getting down to -5 or lower. As I said, could that be signs of a Scandinavian high? If we have a look at sea level pressure, you can see it rising towards the end of the run, which is not what you'd expect with a westerly based pattern with a jet stream coming in. So could we be seeing a Scandinavian high come in? We're seeing on the ECMWF Ensembles, we're seeing hints of it on the GFS Ensembles, it's cropping up on some of the operational runs at the day 7 to day 10 range. Could that come off? Well, we'll have to see over the next week or two. Dew point's also very important. It shows the air mass. Something coming in off the west would, even though if it would be cold at upper levels of the atmosphere, dew point may be a couple degrees above freezing. We're seeing dew points around or below freezing or in and around freezing, above and below at times, quite a lot of the next sort of 10 days from the 4th of January. So looking pretty chilly indeed. And as I said, if we have a look at the new snow depth, significant snowfall on some of the runs, 20 or 30 centimetres on a couple of these runs, and significant snow on maybe about a third of them. So yeah, we'll have to see exactly where that low pressure system does place, but there could be significant snow. Don't want to make any promises because I know we had this disappointment in December, but there is the potential there, and we'll have to see exactly how it does play out. But beyond that, some snow signals, but we wouldn't expect anything too significant at this stage because there is a lot of uncertainty. Now, if we do finish up in the video, have a look at the UK Met Office data, have a look at precipitation and temperature. Can see just a few showers over the course of today, and tomorrow again heavier rain potentially pushing in through the early hours, but nothing too crazy. And then by the afternoon could see some heavier rain pushing into the far southwest, quite vigorous rain potentially there through the afternoon as well, and then some showers in the north pushing in. As we head through Monday, that cold air starts to sink in from the north, starting to see showers turn to snow, especially over high ground, but then to low-lying areas as we head through Monday. See that weather front pushing in from the south, that is cold front with the bitterly cold air behind it. And then we see that weather front push up from the south. Not showing any snow here on the UK Met Office run, but it is got it positioned further southwards. So again, we'll have to see exactly what positioning it does take. Again, we're sort of 3 or 4 days away, so things can change. About 2 or 3 days away now, so things can change. But, yeah, we'll have to see how it does play out, I guess. Beyond that, just snow showers packing in from the northwest. Again, quite a few snow showers potentially coming inland, even into the Midlands from this northwesterly wind, and a lot of snow showers across Scotland. And we do have yellow warnings in force for this now, as I'll show you those in a minute. And then beyond that, we do see generally westerly winds trying to push out back in from the southwest and turning to snow on its leading edge. Now, if we do have a look at the max temperatures, you can see we do have quite mild conditions at the moment. Tomorrow afternoon, temperatures rising to maybe 10 or 11 degrees, but cooling down in the north. And by Monday afternoon, temperatures widely below freezing across Scotland, Northern England, Northern Ireland into low single digits. And by early hours of Tuesday, dropping down to freezing across many areas of England, Wales, Ireland and Scotland, maybe far southeast, holding on to some milder air. And by Tuesday afternoon, maybe 2, 3, 4 degrees in the far south, widely 1 or 2 elsewhere, and freezing in the north, and widely across Tuesday night to Wednesday, frost getting down to freezing or 1 or 2 degrees, and by Wednesday afternoon, maybe 4 or 5 degrees in the far south, and slowly rising in the far southwest, so we do have milder air pushing back in, but you can see really cold early hours of Thursday in the far east, as we see a brief milder sector push in, but there is much colder air behind it, so maybe we'd get up to 7, 8, 9 degrees by next Thursday afternoon, for a day before temperatures drop once again through Friday. So yeah, very, very interesting. Have a look at this. Now, if we finally do have a look at the warnings from the Met Office, there are yellow wind and snow warnings in force for parts of Scotland. Only left it to the end of the video as we are quite a few days away, so it's likely to change and be updated, maybe broadened, maybe be lengthened, so we'll have to see exactly how it does play out, but I do of course want to mention it as it's been enforced today. Frequent snow showers and gusts leading to severe gale force are expected on Tuesday, leading to disruption, particularly in higher routes, from midnight on Tuesday all the way to 6 a.m. on Wednesday. Potentially below 100 metres, accumulation most likely to be temporary and slushy, greatly likelihood of significant accumulation of 2 to 5 or maybe 10 to 15 centimetres above 200 metres. 50 to 60 miles per hour or maybe 70 mile per hour gusts, temporary blizzard conditions, and yeah, could be large waves and dangerous coastal conditions. Very likely, low impact at this stage, but could rise of course, and that was issued earlier today. So we'll have to see exactly how this does play out. But yeah, looking very interesting next week with return of snow and general cold conditions. So anyway, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you again for another video soon.